Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm your host, Habitual Line Crosser. Knox wants to say hello again. Come on, bud. Come on. You want to say? Okay. Hi. Oh gosh, that's so loud. I saw someone in chat with the name of U.S. Department of Homeland Security. I want you to know I deny everything. I will make counter accusations, and I will have 7 or more alibis. Just kidding. What is going on, everybody? Who else got excited to see HLC being revealed? Yo, that Mr. Terry video, I had never heard of that guy before. Love it. I subscribe to him. Good dude. So I actually, you know, since you guys are here, I do want to ask there is some. Okay, so there's a lot going on up here, and getting it to come out the mouth is fucking tism on steroids. First of all, I can't explain more. I cannot explain more, but you guys have no idea how excited I am. Something came together earlier this evening. You guys will find out in January. I am so unbelievably excited. I can't say more about it, but you guys are going to be so fucking pumped. I'm pumped. It's something I've been working on for quite some time. I'm very, very excited. Secondly, I wanted to ask. So, for those of you who are on Pepperbox, you guys know that I do my HLC State of Mind, which is almost all entirely, it's my characters, but I talk about American history, which is really cool. Like obscure things that have happened throughout American history. Well, not really obscure, but anyways. And I was wondering, so I did that one about Pearl Harbor, and hold on. Oh gosh. Sorry, group chat. I did that one about Pearl Harbor, and it was received really, really well. So would you guys be interested in me continuing to do something? Maybe world history? I don't know. Would that be something you guys real excited about? Also, Homie the Clown, thank you so much. And give Buffalo and Rain Girl pats for me. I will do that. Knox the dog, come here. Oh, Knox, they want to see you get pats. Nope, that's not a pat. That's a bark in my face, and your breath smells like your butt. It's not time for a treat yet. And Rain won't jump up. Let me see if I can scoop her. Come here. Oh, baby girl, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to hurt you. She let loose a little squeak. I don't know if I hurt her or I scared her, but she's okay. She's just a little old lady. I hit my desk with my chair, and now the camera's shaking. Okay, Miss Rain, I got you. Good girl. All right. New headset? No, this is the same old headset. It's just, did the kid get an intercept? I wish. The day that happens, I just hope. My main goal is to blow up. No, I'm just kidding. My goal is that when I eventually get to that point and the kid gets an intercept, because it's going to happen sooner or later, that I can deliver what you guys are hoping for. Like I would feel terrible if I delivered something that I thought was phenomenal and I would like straight up mulligan. I'd be like, hey guys, I'm going to make a new video. Like, fuck this. I would mulligan that shit. Mr. Terry's been trying to get a hold of you to do military history. Really? Okay. Well, let me, he probably emailed to my email, which I'm really bad at checking. Boop. I know he did it with Nick once upon a time. Merry Christmas to all of you guys. This is the last stream before Christmas. Maybe you guys can tell me what you're asking for Christmas from Santa Claus or whatever you guys may believe in. I don't judge here. It's not my place to poke fun at people's religion. Unless, of course, that religion is telling you to murder other religions. Then I have a genuine problem with it. How was the tour, man? Seen many pictures with you on crutches. Yeah, I was. So for those of you who don't know, it's okay. I had hip surgery a week before I did that Unsub live show. I'm back up and moving. Range of motion is still not great. All they did is they repaired. I had a torn labrum. I have torn labrums in both hips. And they repaired that one, sewed it back together. Honestly, it looks like it was sewn together with 550 cord. And then they shaved down some bone. So you want me to do a Q&A stream after the new year, Weapons? I might do that. I might be down with that. Weapons out here volunteering me for shit. Hi, Weapons. Hi, Katie. How you doing? Who else we got in here? Is it just Katie and Weapons? I'm okay with that. For mods. We want Franklin for Christmas. Guys. Trust me, I am most likely more frustrated than you are. I'm working the Franklin angle. Trust me. It's certain companies, not Bunker. Bunker's phenomenal. This is an outside company. They're dragging their feet, and I'm not too happy about it. My vote for more history. All right, I fuck with that. I'm down with it. I will probably do it on like big days. I think next one I'll probably go for might be June 6th. For those of you who don't know what June 6th is, June 6th, 1944 was Operation Overlord, when the United States, Canada, Australia, the United Kingdom, and I mean, obviously there was French there, but they had already kind of, lost at that point in time. They'd surrendered. That was the Normandy invasion. I want a pair of new work boots for Christmas, bro. You know what's crazy is work boots, man. Like, they have gotten so fucking expensive. And like, even me, like, the army issue boots, they're like, I mean, for a decent pair of them, it's easily $200. So when I see somebody like, oh, I got the new Jordans, like, bro, I beat up boots that are more expensive than them damn things. Sister Line Cross is doing well. She is. I don't want to put too much of her business out there. She is posting updates. She's been posting them to her Instagram story. I had to teach her, and I did this last night, how to make a reel. So she's going to be posting them all there on Reels. And how's Buff doing? Buff is doing good. You'll take a stealth F-14 for Christmas? You and me both, homie. Look up a song about Warrior Shaman songs. Buff is the name, a 70s version. I haven't heard the 70s one. I've heard Legends Don't Die by Warrior Shaman. I'm familiar with Warrior Shaman. He's working on another project for me. I am in so many different fucking directions right now, guys. It's astronomical. But also, other big news. I don't know if it's gone started yet, but they initiated my med board on Monday. And this is the thing. So it isn't like I'm trying to use it as a reason to get out. If I gotta go the whole time, gotta go the whole time. But it's crazy how after 15 years of sucking it up, you go tell the doctor, like, this hurts, and they're like, it's not supposed to. And I said that for a lot of parts of my body. I think there comes a time in everyone's life when you have to look at the man in the mirror and realize it's your time to walk away. And yes, Nick did have a huge impact on that. Nick is such a good dude, honestly. One of the best friends I've ever had. They submitted the paperwork, but we don't have the approval yet. That's from Mrs. Linecrosser. So yes, they submitted the paperwork. Nothing gone through yet. But I think that having the self-awareness to realize that you're, there's not much more your body can take, and it's good to walk away. I think that me walking away a little bit earlier than retirement probably put a few more years on my life, and I'll be able to spend those with my beautiful wife, and I'll be able to spend those making content for you guys, and that's really what I want in this world. Project Pluto. I feel like I'm familiar with Project Pluto. Hold on, now I got to check it out. Yes, I have heard of that. Nuclear-powered ramjet engines. They also did a pulse one for ICBMs, nuclear pulses. Was caught with an underground raccoon breeding ring trying to make real Franklin pets viable. You know, we don't talk about that thing. Have you ever had to show your higher ups the info you post is open source to public, even if the info may be sensitive or have a classification? No. My chain of command, they're very understanding of what I do, and being that I am in a profession of arms and I am a professional, I do verify every last little detail. It's crazy, is that believe it or not, there's a lot of information that, like, when I'm in class with my students, they think is open source, and I have to stop them. I'm like, that's not open source. You need to double check that. So I try and make sure that I follow the rules as best I can. So far, I haven't had any issues, and I'm very thankful for that. 18th century cavalry saber. Wow, words are hard, folks. I don't know if you realize that. You know what's crazy is when I had a beard, I bought this beard brush, and now it's kind of like a weird placebo effect that just makes me feel better. But yeah, history sounds good. Someone said communism 3 times. He's going to pop in, I'm telling you. If you recall 2 weeks ago, and please report. She said yes. Oh, shit. Heck yeah, Aragoose, I remember you. Hey, congrats, man. I'm telling you, just walk up and ask. That's all you got to do. Pick 3 superpowers that you want IRL. Ooh, this is a good one. 3 superpowers. I mean, flight, but everyone picks flight, and honestly, flight for me is just ease of use. Like, I can get to work faster. I can get things done. I ain't got to worry about, so flight definitely a big one. I would really like some type of super strength. I think that would be really awesome. I know I'm going down the Superman rabbit hole here, but that's probably where that'll end. And the last one is I would like to be able to make things that I want or yearn for or matter of any kind, like, appear in front of me. Like, if I just say $1 billion, boom, I snap my fingers and there's $1 billion in front of me. That's the last one that I would want. And I don't know if that's a teleportation thing or if that's just I can create matter. I don't know, but I think that was a great question. Still waiting for a buff pint glass. In due time. I've never even thought about that. Also, for the new shirt that we launched, I'm glad you guys really enjoyed that. I've been seeing the numbers of how many of you have went and got those. So I wanted to make sure we got that out before Christmas, so that way you guys could get those for you and your family members. Serious question: how far is USA from being fully defendable from ICBMs? There's a couple things. Let me finish reading the thing there. What would it take to get there? And why wouldn't we focus on being impenetrable instead of most deadly? Yes. You said video needed. The short answer is more than our entire budget times probably 5. Defending against ICBMs is really, really difficult. And so here's the thing. When you do any type of intelligence, they don't give you a... They don't say the enemy has this many missiles. They'll say the enemy has around this many missiles with this level of probability. So if you're trying to err on the side of caution, you always go for the higher number based off of that level of probability. So the amount of interceptors we need are astronomical. And the reason we do more focus on being deadly instead of impenetrable is right now, the U.S., our power projection is unrivaled. I'm doing research on another USA versus the world video. I'm sorry, guys. I know it's been a while. This one's a whale. This is a big one. The information I'm compiling, no one has ever compiled before. And it's more than I ever wanted to compile. I was like, I'm going to do this. And now I'm about like halfway through, and I'm like, I don't like this. I don't like any part of this. So no one has compiled this information. I've been unable to find a large amount of it anywhere. And I have to, did you know there's a limit to how many tabs you can have open on, what is this? Microsoft Edge? Yep. I now know that. So for us, the benefit of us being kind of everywhere is if somebody attacks the mainland United States, whether this is with ballistic missiles or this is with a ground invasion, air attack, what have you, there is a counterattack coming at them from all directions because the United States is so spaced out. Other countries that don't have that capability and aren't power projected that far out, they're all centrally located in one location, relatively easy to eliminate. The US, on the other hand, I mean, you could literally glass the entire continental United States, glass the whole thing. You still have to deal with Alaska and Hawaii. Okay, those are two things. All the U.S. territories, Virgin Islands, Guam, all that stuff. And then you also have to deal with, well, I don't know, the world's most powerful Navy coming and hunting you down. I'm getting roasted for using Microsoft Edge. Hey, don't you judge me. Mrs. Linecrosser gives me the same. She's like, why don't you use Chrome? I was like, because I'll use Firefox. If I feel like being like that level of, I'm not using Tor, by the way. That's not one. Merry Christmas to you as well, Corsair Raven. Got an intercept from my wife for Christmas. How you holding up, kid? I don't fully understand that joke. Grandpa Buff, can you explain it to me? Well, kid, you see, when two people love each other very much... No, Buff, don't tell him right now. Ah, come on, grow some fucking... I don't know what I can say on live without getting banned. Omniscience, omnipotent. Oh, my chat froze again. I hate it when it does. Oh, there it goes. Why does it do that? I have a rocket ship of a computer. Why is it? The winged hussar short was amazing. Get those medical issues documented ASAP. Makes VA disability screening easier. Yeah. No, I'm there's a few things going in my favor. Number one, I've been going down that road. Like, they know that I'm really jacked up. I'm on the burn pit registry, all that stuff. I do also have friends who work for the VA, who are helping me along through this process. Once I finally like get the go ahead and the floodgates open. And then, Oklahoma, believe it or not, I did not know this. Oklahoma, actually got investigated by the VA because they were giving out too many 100% disabilities, like a lot. So the probability of you getting one here is pretty high. Look up Lockheed CL 1201. Now I got to look that up. Oh, I did see this. Yep. Okay. I didn't know that's what it was called. The aircraft carrier. Yeah. God bless America. The shit that, like, and this is the thing. I guarantee the only reason we didn't make this is because it was either impractical or too expensive. Those are the only things that ever stop America. It isn't like, well, no one's ever done this before. We love proving that shit wrong. But like, if it's either impractical or too expensive, those are the only two things that we're like, okay.
Would you intercept me?
Rob!
I'd intercept me.
G'day HLC. I just wanted to give a shout out to my nephew. After a stuff around, he is finally off to the RAF in a flying role. He's off to officer training in January. Incredibly proud of the young fella.
Dude, congratulations. That's fucking awesome. I really wish I could have like become a pilot. I mean, everyone in the military wishes they could have become a pilot, right? It's very difficult to get that job because everybody's gunning for it. So to get there, your nephew's definitely on the higher level of competence, man. So congratulations to him. That's awesome, dude. That is absolutely awesome. They want to replace the Black Hawk with the proper. I thought it was called something else, but it was the tilt wing design, the new one. I know they're talking about it. I don't know if it's come to fruition yet. It was a possibility. Good to see you, HLC. Where's the plushie, bro? I'm trying, YF. I am trying. Can't be shot if the man with the gun is not alive. That's also true. Like, and that's the thing. So I want you guys to know, when it comes to things like everyone's freaking out about these drones in New Jersey. Don't. Just don't. if it was a threat, you would be notified and they would be eliminated. Like that's something you gotta really get used to. Uncle Sam knows a lot, like a lot. It's crazy how much Uncle Sam knows. So let me get caught up here. I'm from Brazil. The U.S. X the World Series. 1/10 U.S. Coast Guard win against the Brazilian military. I don't even know what the Brazilian military numbers are. This is the thing, the it's not so much the numbers, is Brazil. Dude, that jungle sucks. I like fighting in the desert sucks. Don't get me wrong. Fighting any environment sucks. People are like, oh, it's better to fight in the desert than it is in the jungle. They each have their own levels of like suck. The deserts, the cold, the mountains, jungles, like they all have their own level of suck. And I tell you right now, out of all of them, I would definitely pick the desert way before I'd pick a fucking jungle. What did the guy say about the 30-06 Thompson? So I was at a range day. I remember bringing that up because I was like, I was Denver Bullets was out there. Apparently the CEO is a big fan of mine. Really nice guy. Awesome. We hung out. I mean, he bought me a couple of drinks and, it was a good time because they have like a party afterwards. And I was like, this was made in 30-06. And he's like, you mean the bar? And I was like, no, which by the way, that was my first time ever firing a bar. For those of you who don't know, that's Browning automatic rifle. And I really expected it to just kind of be all over the place, but it's so forward heavy and like the design, it's such a strange thing to explain to someone who's never fired one, because I've never fired one until range day. And I fired this thing and I expected it to climb. It didn't. It came straight back. And because it was so forward heavy, aside from it being a very heavy weapon, as soon as I emptied that mag, I was like, this is why we won World War II. I am now convinced. I fired the Thompson. I fired a PPSH. PPSH is fun. Like, okay, Russia got one thing right. Grease gun, real big letdown. I was not impressed with that thing. I've actually never fired an M1 Grand, but the bar, that thing, as soon as I emptied that mag, I was like, that's why we won World War II. That thing is awesome. Let me see. Oh man, a bunch more came in. I'm trying to get caught up here, guys. Oh, I think I missed another one up here. Edge, Chrome, Brave, they all use chromium base, pretty much the same thing. Oh, okay. The aircraft carrier, yes. Video on the CL-1201. Do they have a model of one anywhere? Like maybe a functional prototype or something? That would be awesome. Osprey? No, not the Osprey. So the V-22 is for the Marine Corps. Oh man, what is the Army one? Hang on. The V-280. Is that the right one? Yeah, because the V-280 has the tail that looks almost like it's like a V-tail design. The Osprey has kind of a whale tail design. The V-22 Osprey and the V-280 is the Army one. Yep, V-280. I should have just looked in chat. You guys are all on top of it. Drones in New Jersey. Yeah, what? Oh, yeah, we already got that. Thank you so much, Matt Standridge. Pick 3 melee weapons for the zombie apocalypse. What are they? Oh, that one's easy. I've thought about that one very heavily. Number 1, machete. Okay, easy to use, effective, resilient, easy to function, not much upkeep there. Machete, hands down, because everyone's like, oh, katana, all this, all that. Machete is resilient. It's just a hunk of metal that's been sharpened. Nothing special about it. Great. Weapon number 2, gonna be a baseball bat. Blunt force is always gonna be needed, and the reason why I pick both those, they're lightweight, easy to swing, and you don't get tired doing it. Okay, so both of those are high on my list. And number 3, I guess I've never really thought about a third one. Those are both just kind of high on my list. I would go with like, how about a mace? A mace, yeah. I've never even seen a mace in real life. Mace is, for those of you who don't know, a couple different styles of them, I think. I'm not a medieval weapons expert. I'm the missile guy. The one like spike ball on the head. That's the one that I want, not the one with the chain, because I'd kill myself with that chain one. So yeah. 15 Tango Reservist. Hey, aviation guy. Ready to line up for a civilian side job working for Bell. The V-280 Valor. There you go. I'm hoping someday, especially once I'm out, while my clearance is still valid, I can really come and like check out some of these like production facilities, because that would be the shit. Gunfox says, my sister's son just called me. He got accepted into the U.S. Army OCS. Bro, congrats! Not sure what school he's going to. Also, your buddies are training around. Jan, most likely IFT7 to happen. Really? I don't know if I'm allowed to say what IFT stands for. Maybe? At least, maybe it's a different version. I'm thinking intercept flight test, but I could be wrong. Flankin, we're upping your nugs to 50 a day.
Oh, he's going to be so goddamn happy. But I got to get him a treadmill. That dude's put on some weight.
My dad said he cut down trees with the bar. I believe it. It was so much fun, man. I had so much fun with the bar. HLC getting the sponsorship. Hey. Sorry, I just looked over on my other screen, and did you know that it looks like another tilt wing design, the Bell Textron XV3. If you guys haven't looked that up, go look that up. It looks like a Vietnam tilt wing design. And my chat froze again. God bless America. I hate when it does that. Hang on, let me pull the doc back open. Okay, I don't care. Doc. Chat. Still, oh, nope, there we go. It unfroze. I feel a sneeze coming on. Oh. What did the guys say about the 30-06 Thompson? I thought I already answered that. They said they were going to look into it. That's pretty much all they said. I like range day, don't get me wrong. Not a huge like gun purchaser myself. Don't get me wrong, I like pew-pews. But most of my time is spent there networking. That's all I'm doing. I'm talking to this person, talking to that person. I got to get the video edited. I got back and got straight to work. It's been super busy. I'm not keeping up weapons. I'm trying. Quite possibly hearsay, but isn't the bar full auto grand? More or less. I mean, same caliber. I mean, both 30-06 and the bar. Yeah, you just hold the trigger and it's so much fun. The V280 looks like a disabled Blackhawk. It probably is. Kukri, Shovel, and Warhammer. I'm here for it, Casey. And what possible strategic value would the Brazilian Amazon hold regarding quality? Look for the Lobster War. They forgot the ammo back in port. So the strategic value of the Amazon is we, at least for now, we don't know how to operate in the Amazon. And this is why I'm apprehensive about the Amazon. The locals are going to be able to survive out there and disappear into the Amazon. And we're never going to find them. Like, they train in that environment. That's their environment. They know what they can touch, what they can't touch, what to eat. Like, they know all that stuff. It's the same problem that the Brazilian and the Colombian military are having with like the like drug cartels and the different like gangs and stuff that are down there. They can survive in the jungle and they live out there. And there's a lot of stuff that's no man's land. I was watching, there's a documentary me and my wife watched called like the Lost Kids or something like that, where like 4 kids survived in the Colombian rainforest in the Amazon for like 40 days. Bro, it's nuts. I need you. You need more.
Would you intercept me?
I don't want to overuse it. I want to make it count. Merry Christmas. This channel is way more fun than I thought. Good for you. Hey, at some point you're going to have thoughts on the NGAD. So I did a while ago. I'm trying to figure out how to do the NGAD. For those of you who don't know, that's next generation air dominance. I'm trying to figure out how to redo it because I did it before, but that was when the Air Force had an NGAD program. Recently, the Air Force nixed it and said, we're just going to upgrade the F-22. Now, I think that this is because of a couple of reasons. One, most likely cost. And number 2 is it's not necessary. Like the F-22 is still so far ahead of everybody else. Everyone's like, well, what about the Chinese J-20? Chinese J-20 has a radar cross-section that's like 100 times larger than the F-22. And this is the closest they can get. The Su-57, don't make me laugh. I'm just kidding. It looks kind of cool. I'll be honest with you. Su-57 looks kind of cool. To me, it looks like a Delta Wing version of a Tomcat. I guess that's kind of what I would compare it to. But it's kind of a triangle Delta Wing. I don't know. But I want to do a different version for Navy. Definitely, because the Navy is still chasing NGAD. Now, people are trying to summon Nick. I see the communism in here. All right, there we go. I'm trying to get bar, no ping, less dopamine. Whoa, hold on. I personally have never fired a what is it? The M1 Grand. So I've never experienced the ping. But I will tell you, if you don't have ear protection in, you just fired 8 rounds of 30-06 as fast as you can squeeze the trigger. You're not hearing anything. So yeah. What's a better air defense system, Aegis or Aegis Ashore? better how? That's a really hard question to answer. So for point defense, I would say Aegis, Aegis Ashore. Because it's not mobile and it's very good at protecting its asset that it's co-located with. Maneuver defense, Aegis all day long. Circumstantially, they're the same system. It's just one's on a boat and one's on the land. So that's a hard question to answer. We used to have a bar Mark II Sportman with a silver finish. Brazil versus Vietnam 2.0. Yeah. Air defense is the fuzz factor. In air defense is the fuzz factor. I'm trying to follow Matt Phillips. I'm really trying to follow. Burn the forest. We tried that in Vietnam. Agent Orange. Well, that was us trying to kill the forest. Napalm. Yeah. It's not as easy to level a forest as people think. I mean, nuclear weapons. Yeah. And some J-20 is a giant pile of crap. Hey, what's up, Zach? Wishing it was an F-22. Love it. What, NGAD is still a program? It's kind of on hold. I was tracking weapons. From what I read on the interwebs is that NGAD for the Air Force is on hold, but the Navy is still pursuing that. And usually that could be another reason that they put it on hold. Is each branch they will pilot a program, and they spend a lot of their R&D money on that program. And the reason you put it on one branch is when the one branch figures it out, it goes out to all the other branches if it's needed. So perfect example of this is the CWIS, right? Close-in weapon system. The Army has our version called LPWS, Land-Based Phalanx Weapon System. Most of you know it as CRAM. The Navy footed the bill for CWIS. They designed that entire program. It took very little budget for us to go, cool, take it off the boat, give it a tan, send it to the desert, and let's see what it does. So right now the Army is footing the bill for IBCS. Once it comes online, I would bet dollars to donuts that Aegis will eventually integrate with IBCS, that GMD will integrate with IBCS. Like, it's going to take all the systems and put it under the same hat. So would you do YouTube or design air defense systems if the designing air defense systems paid less? So I really enjoy air defense. I really do. I've worked with people designing air defense systems. I really have. And I did it for 4 years. There is so many hoops to jump through to get any changes made. I worked for 3 years to get one piece of data put on the ribbon bar at the top of CWMI, which is Common Warfighter Machine Interface. I worked for 3 years to get one piece of data put up there. I would definitely do the YouTube route because I enjoy educating people. I enjoy talking to people. I enjoy making people laugh. And there's way less bureaucracy. Actually, I have not experienced any bureaucracy. My pick for Zombie Apocalypse, Gustav Langes Messer. I don't even know what. Look, man. All right, I'm not going to read this out loud. The Reaver Cleaver from Zombie Tools. I'm not familiar with that one either. I think I've seen the Cold Steel Warhammer. I'm not even the first one. I'm not even going to try and look it up. Much respect for the honesty. These nuts are doze nuts. In air defense, is the fuzz factor still taught? I'm not sure what you mean by fuzz factor. I've never heard that term before. It could have been something ambiguous way back in the day before systems became more high fidelity. I don't know. What do I think about Little European Texas? I don't know for certain. Okay, I don't know for certain, but I think I was the first person who ever said that. I really do. Because I said it, and then the next person I saw say it was he does like news updates on TikTok. He used it, and now it's like everywhere. I had never heard it before I said it. I was like, I'm just going to say this. So I don't know if I invented that because nothing is original on the internet anymore. But I think I did. So I think Russia sent all the screws for the Su-35. I don't. I don't. I think the reason Russia is sending them in crates is because, yes, obviously for the what is it, the sanctions, but I think it's because they're like, cool, we can make 15 planes 15 planes worth of this part right now because we can't afford anything else. So let's send a crate full of just like the left wing. All right, in a couple months you'll get the right wing, and then a couple months later you'll get an engine. Like I think that's how it's going. Would I do a video on the United States weird military experience in the past? I'm not opposed to that. I would have to find out what weird military experience. We've done a lot of dumb shit. You don't like. Did you guys know that apparently part of our budget last year? I didn't know this. I don't even know how true it is. It's just a tweet from Elon Musk, and that's. I don't know how true any of that is. But apparently last year we spent like $100,000 trying to figure out if cocaine makes mice breed more or something like that. Like it's just the weirdest thing. Why would we spend money on that and waste good cocaine? I'm sorry. I shouldn't have said that. You seem focused on the difficulties of jungle war. My point is the reason to do it. What strategic value holding 99% uninhabited area? That's fair. Okay. I'm getting what you, I'm picking up what you're looking at. The size of text where most things are trying to kill you. That's fair. You caught me with my tunnel vision. You really did. My tunnel vision, I got stuck in insurgency warfare. Because, like, the Taliban didn't hold anything. Like, the entire time we were there. They didn't hold anything except for Pakistan, which is where they would go. And every season they would come back. There's fighting seasons in Afghanistan. So that's kind of what my brain equated it to, is that, folding the Brazilian military for the U.S., probably not a hard task. They'll take off the uniforms and flee into the jungle. The Taliban didn't win any fights against the United States. Not a single one. At least I've never found one that they won. Some would argue that like the whole lone survivor thing with Marcus Luttrell is them winning. We sent a Ranger battalion in there shortly afterwards, and they did some work. But I guess you're right. For a uniformed military, there would be no role or no. I guess the juice wouldn't be worth the squeeze to hold jungle. Yeah, I think the small. I think the United States Marine Corps alone might be able to force a surrender if they were to stay uniformed. But unfortunately, warfare's changed so much, man. Like the enemy's figured out that, okay, if you lose against a superior force, just take off your uniform and start using insurgency tactics, which sucks because fighting an insurgency is awful. It's absolutely just, it's disgusting because it hurts so many innocent civilians, man. Have I ever shit yourself in public? If so, what's the story? Ooh. Kinda. I think I was at home. I wasn't wearing any underwear and I let loose a toot and I had one like roll out of my pant leg and hit the floor. No poo on me. I don't know how I did it. I couldn't do it again if you paid me $1 million. Couldn't do it again. Yeah. Oh. Installment purchase plan, some assembly required. I love it. Derailing game of the day. You get to negate bodily functions, eat, age, feel pain, sleep, etc. But for each you stop, you have to double another. Ooh, okay. I would take away aging because if I live forever, I can exponentially grow everything. And that would double my amount of sleep because, you sleep a third of your life. So you could circumstantially get everything done if you're living forever. So I'd sleep more. And then I would remove feel pain, because like for me, it's not so much the physical pain that bothers me. I have a really high pain tolerance. It would be like the emotional pain. I know someday I'm gonna have to say goodbye to my best buddy Knox. That is my dude. He has been with me since my ex-wife. It was just me and him for a good number of years. He's 10 years old. That is my best buddy in the whole wide world. And if I never had to experience the pain of losing him, I would absolutely do it in a heartbeat. So I think that's. And then, so if I remove feel pain, I would increase the amount that I poo. I like sleeping and I like pooing. It's just both things that really fulfill me as a human. You know, that's also a time when you clear your thoughts, when you're sleeping, when you're pooing. That's when most men, like, that's when we're having our, like, we don't have shower thoughts. We have poo thoughts. Okay. Integrated flight test. Ship 33. Lot Moab or Mop. Need a parking lot. Yeah, they'll definitely do the trick. 20 millimeter versus a group of wild hogs. Airburst. No, there's no such thing as overkill. There's just sending a message. Remember that, folks. Never been more proud to be Polish and a Texan. Zach, I love it. I love the sorry. Any new missiletism recently? So there's one. It's the first ever. I'm looking into it. It's the first ever surface-to-air missile. Believe it or not, it's not American. It's German, and it's. You guys ever watch? I'm not going to explain the story because I'm going to use the story. Have you guys ever watched The Hunchback of Notre Dame? That when like at the end and they push the catapult off the top of Notre Dame and the guy's like, I don't think that's how it's supposed to work. And then all of a sudden it flips and slams on top of them. And he's like, works for me. Something along those lines happened with this missile when it was first used in combat. And it's a really cool story. It's fucked up, but it's cool. Army lost because Buff was on the team. Army lost. You know, this is the thing. Okay. I'm gonna explain to you guys. It's for those of you who are like, oh, Navy beat Army. Okay, so here's the deal. Every day I wake up and I'm not in the Navy, I beat the Navy. That's just the way that I look at it. Like I win. I win no matter what because I'm not in the Navy. You said I'm the immortal poo bot. I love it. I don't know why my camera does this every once in a while. You guys see it? How it turns into like a slideshow? And like I'm not losing any frames. I don't know why it's been doing that lately. Have I ever thought of collaborating with Nico Ortiz? Yeah, I would love to collab with Nico Ortiz. Couple of big hurdles there. One, I've only met him once. Taller than I thought he would be. I thought Nico was shorter. He's like 6'2", 6'3". Did not see that happening. So we know of each other. Like we've talked, we've had conversations. Met him at like I think the first range day I did. Number two is time right now. I have no time. For those of you who try and like work a full-time job, do social media, and you have kids, like entertaining small versions of yourself, you don't know what sleep is like anymore, do you? Because like I'm exhausted, burning the candle at both ends. We get to see some more historical videos. It is on the list. I did ask earlier and people are interested. Pearl Harbor video was great. Would love to see more flashbacks. You call it historical else line crosser. I like it. Just airdrop some shawarmas. Is that what the Su-57 also looks like on radar? Fuzz factor is the cumulative errors in the system from radar, targeting, tracking, and missile launcher. The higher the error fuzz, the lower the hit probability. From 1954 air defense was manual like Nike Ajax. Okay, so that's way before my time. No. We don't teach that anymore. I have to stop myself because I'm balancing some things here. With any sensor, I have to say that with any sensor that is looking out there, there are certain areas of ambiguity. Nothing is perfect, so there's always a probability of or a possibility of missing. However, with most modern air defense systems, they will only shoot when they have a 90% PK or probability of kill. That is the desired goal, is that if they shoot 100 missiles, you will knock out 99 of them. 90 of them. Look, there's two things that air defenders don't do in public: read, write, and math. Case in point. All right. Former MP and contractor, love your show and buff. Thank you so much, Kristen. I appreciate you being here. US Spacecom in the house. We got Spacecom in here, bro. You guys know that I'm just like a dork. It's funny. I was at when I was at range day, this guy came up to me and he was like, "Hey man, I love your videos." Like he's like, "Can I take a picture with you?" I was like, "Yeah, dude." Like, this is the thing. If you see me out in public, it doesn't matter what I'm doing. Come up and say hello. I am as excited to meet you as you are to meet me. 100%, right? And if you're in a group of a couple of people, I try and give my undivided attention to you one at a time, because I hate it when I meet somebody and like they're only half paying attention because they feel obligated to. So like some of you may have noticed that if you went to the Dallas live show, is every time I talk to somebody, I was dedicated to that conversation with them. And I do that on purpose because I want you to know that you have my attention and I do appreciate your support and I do want to talk to you. So I do that on purpose with every single person. But this guy came up to me and he was like, "Oh man, I love your videos." And I was like, "Cool, yeah." You know, he wanted to take a picture, and I was like, "What do you do for a living?" He's like, "I'm a U.S. Marshal." You know that I'm just a dork who likes missiles, right? Like, Wither in the house.
Sorry I'm late. First thing is the tips you gave me. The OP4 training tips worked like a charm.
Hey, I'm happy I could help, Wither. I appreciate you, man. So they worked out real good. That's good. You should play Broken Arrow when it releases. It's an RTS with Patriot. And you want me to judge the realism? I don't know if I can. Like, one of my buddies plays DCS, and apparently there's a patch or a mod for DCS where you can have Patriot, and he played it once, and he's a tactician like I am, and he's like, it's awful. But I can't say it's awful. I was like, what do you mean it's awful? He's like, the interface is wrong, probabilities of kill are wrong, the system isn't configured correctly, there's no tabular entries, like it's wrong. Everything is wrong. And I was like, yeah, but John Q. Public isn't allowed to know all that other shit. And he's like, yeah, that's fair. Top of the weird stuff U.S. military has done would have to be the hovering lawnmower. We made a hovering lawnmower? All right, I'm putting it on the list. Now I kind of want to look into that, because that tickled my tism a little bit. Poo thoughts. You're showing your age, dude. Hey, don't you judge me. That is a man's time. The cocaine thing was to test if addictions worsen or change stress responses or make current treatments less effective. This is to help improvements. Huh. Dr. Strangelove? Strange Jove? Is that an L or J? I am dyslexic as shit. I did not know that. See, that makes a whole lot more sense. But in his defense, I will say our government does some pretty dumb stuff. We do dumb stuff. You mentioned before that you were a tanker. What made you join 88? I was forced. It's nothing against. I loved being a tanker. I really enjoyed it. My body likes me being an air defender more. I tell you right now, I think I've told this story before, but I'll say it again. If you guys have ever hit your shin on a ball hitch, or like on the back of a truck, I'm going to tell you something that is easily 100 times worse. And I experienced this. It was at Fort Carson. I was running between tanks. And if you notice on the back of an Abrams, right where the last road wheel goes up to the sprocket, obviously the track angles up. And I was running over to the back of my buddy's tank to hand him something. I can't remember what it was. And I slid on ice, and both of my feet, the tank wasn't moving. Both my feet slid underneath the track, and both of my shins went straight into end connectors at a full sprint. I then proceeded to fall on the ground and scream at the top of my lungs like a bitch. And I expect any grown man to do the same if they experience that. 100%. That, yeah. Oh my God. You mentioned before, I'm sorry. But yes, I after I got back from Afghanistan, I went to re-enlist. I was like, I love this. I love what I do. You know, I like these guys. This is a great place to be. And they said, cool. And President Obama was downsizing tankers at that time. And they said, pick a new job or get out. And I was like, cool. What's available? They offered me vet tech. I was like, well, I want to stay near the fight. And they're like, air defense is combat arms. Lie number one. And then I was like, well, what are the jobs? They offered me 14 Echo and 14 Tango. And Echo is what I picked because he said Echo fires the missile and Tango, I think, tells him to fire the missile. I remember those words verbatim. And I was like, well, I want to shoot the missile. The only thing I've ever shot down is Morale and a couple of cruise missiles in a test. Very good conversation devolved into poop talk. Without fail, plop. I'm sorry, Miller. I'm sorry, man. Also, Navy, never again volunteer yourself. Yes. Just like was a USMC's Uncle Sam's Misguided Children. And then armies aren't ready to be Marines yet. I hate that one. Like, give us something better. Like, I want a good roast for Army. I hate that one. It's just, it's boring. Sounding just like the Army recruiter propaganda I had to counter when I was recruiting for the Navy.
I'd intercept me.
Any opinions on the development of a nuclear-armed sea-launched cruise missile, SLCMN?
So sea-launched nuclear-capable missiles are a pretty common thing. The nuclear cruise missiles, now that is 100% new to us. We've made nuclear cruise missiles, I believe, in the past. Have we? I may have to look that up. I don't know if they bring anything new to the fight. Like, I mean, nuclear weapons are incredibly expensive to produce and also very expensive to maintain. So like tactically, somebody somewhere has to make the decision. Yes, this is worth us spending that money on it. Cruise missiles statistically are better at reaching their target now with modern air defense. Cruise missiles, because they use the curvature of the earth and mass terrain. So like radar here, blasting radiation like a big flashlight if there's buildings or mountains or trees, and then obviously the curvature of the earth, cruise missile comes in, and then the horizon is like 20-ish miles, give or take how high you are, where you're at on the planet, density, not density, what's the word I'm looking for? Visibility, dust in the air, shit like that. So then boom, 20 miles, and if that thing's flying pretty quick, it's harder to hit. And let's say that there's a mountain in front of you even closer, so then it can get even closer. So yeah. I don't really have much words on that though. That's kind of all I got. That's about all I got to say about that. So Joe said that you had to counter that stuff when you were recruiting for the Navy. Huh. If you can get the job done with 10, why do you need 1,000? You're not wrong. Fucking Wolfram. This is the thing that bothers me. And I think no matter where you're at, like, I don't like talking politics. I don't like talking politics. Never been a fan of it, right? Because it's just two people who will never agree with each other, just yelling at each other. But I think everyone in the United States can agree. All bills should be single use. All of them. One use. One thing in the fucking bill. Hey, guess what? We're going to fund our country. Cool. That is all that's in there. There's nothing else. There's nothing like, oh, we're going to have this for special interests. We got to have this for the fucking dudes who are lining my pockets. I did not mean to say that. Wow. Well, that was actually a slip of the tongue. Dead serious. That was actually a slip of the tongue. Yeah. Tank breaker. And now my chat's about to go nuts because that just came out of my mouth. That was honestly an accident. I swear to God, guys. If I was going to make the joke, I would have just come right out and say it. But that was, yeah. Tank breaker, thank you so much. Carried one man standing over the blades. Seriously? Ugh. A page limit for laws. PC police incoming. I know they're going to get me. Yep. I feel like being in the Navy is like Ryan in your episode of The Offenders. You get to be on aircraft carriers, battleships, and submarines carry nukes, but yeah. Oh, man. At least I aren't a habitual shin breaker. I almost ended up in a wheelchair, man. Wither again.
I'm pretty sure my shins are invulnerable from the amount of times I've hit the ball bearings of trucks.
Oh. I tell you, man, a ball hitch, it'll take a grown man and turn him into a little girl real quick. Like, oh my God, my dad had this hitch. It was like welded to the frame of his truck, and that thing, there was no give in it. None. Oh my God. Oh, miserable. 3 military branches try to recruit me. Why didn't you go for them? I mean, if you got something better on the outside, by all means. I will always tell people, like, if you have something better on the outside, do it. If you don't, show up for a couple of years. Get your free college, roll out. And everyone's like, well, what if I die? Well, you could die walking across the street tomorrow. You could crash your car. And guess what? Now you're up to your ears in medical bills because our fucking medical system is shit. Like, this is the thing. I'm not one of those, free medical for everybody. I'm a fucking realist, but there are some things that cannot be abused, like chemotherapy or insulin. Those should be absolutely free. Fight me. Everything else, yeah, let's talk about price capping some things here. Stub toe or shin hit. Ooh. If it's the big toe, I'll take the toe. But if it's a pinky toe, shin all day long. Was a tanker served in Baghdad? 3-4. You were in the shit, homie. Damn. Best job I ever had. True tanker pain is something if different. Why tankers have high pain tolerance? I remember you were obviously on Abrams back then, 0304. I don't know if you've ever changed the starter in your tank. And we did. If you guys don't know, the starter on an Abrams main battle tank is like, I don't know, 3 feet long, 12 inches in diameter, and like 200 pounds. So what we did to get it out, on the back of an Abrams, we have this thing and we call it a bitch plate. And it's because it's a bitch to get back in. There's literally every good tanker knows you just wedge it in there a certain way where it's all crooked and then you kick the shit out of it and it slams into place. That's how you, and it's an armored plate and it weighs like fucking 500 pounds. But to access most of your engine, you need to remove that plate. So we remove the plate and he's all down in there and we grabbed the smallest dude after we had the starter unhooked and he crawled down in there and we said, hug the starter. And he's like, cool. And then me and 2 other guys grabbed him by his legs and his belt and just picked him up out of there like a human crane. And that's how we got the fucking starter out. And then we're like, hug the new starter and put it in the other spot. That's how we got the starter back in. Yeah. Worst thing is a medic guy who's screaming because of the pain stops and says, I don't feel any pain and now I'm sleepy. Oh, no. That's, I want you guys to know this. There is two ways that medics approach you in the military. And the one you want is actually the meaner one. When a medic walks up to you and go, oh, you're being a baby. Oh, here, take this. Hey, here's some pills. Go on, right? That's the medic you want. That's the mentality you want. You're like, okay, cool. They don't care. I'm fine. When they walk up and they're kneeling next to you and they're like, you're going to be fine, bro. You're going to be fine. You're doing good. Just stay with me. Talk to me. Hey, you're going to be just fine. Tell me about your kids. Things are going very badly. Very, very badly at that point in time. I've never personally experienced that. I've seen that. I've never experienced that. Yeah, no. When medics are being nice, be afraid. Yes. Hey, LaRue's in here. For those of you who don't know, Jacques LaRue, who just jumped in chat right there, he and I were in Afghanistan together once upon a time. We were both tankers together. We did that first gunnery together. After you choked me out in the driver's seat of a tank. Good times. Good times. But LaRue is in here. Grandpa Buff has debilitating case of blue bombs. Like Grandpa empties bag. That's about goddamn time. I'm so tired of this shit. F the PC police. Canceled. There you go. I'm all canceled. Hold on. All right, there we go. I'm starting to get caught up a little bit. Do you think they're American civilians that went to fight in Ukraine? Absolutely. I know one of them for certain. His name is Sam41 on Twitter. He went and he's back now. What's my opinion on the Russian Orishnik missile and can any of our air defense intercept it? Absolutely. 100% we can intercept it. It's not in Patriot's engagement envelope. So a layered air defense, you have different, obviously, tiers. The way the Army breaks down air defense is we have lower tier and upper tier, right? So when I say lower tier air defense system, a lot of people think that I'm referring to that as like a lower quality. No, it's just an elevation thing. So you got your SHORAD, short range air defense here, and then you got, Patriot about here, and then you got THAAD is about here, and Aegis is, you can't even see my hand anymore, and then GMD is somewhere else up there.
Intercept me.
Wither.
My uncle was a Navy corpsman and unfortunately had to be nice to injured men.
It's never fun to see a medic being nice to somebody. It's always very terrifying. That means you're losing blood quickly, or you're drowning in your own blood, or your leg is missing, or there's a lot of things. There's a lot of reasons a medic would be like that with you. Also, fun fact, I don't know if you guys have ever seen it. If you ever see someone pack a wound, I would rather be unconscious and or dead. That is the grossest thing I've ever seen in my damn life. When you see them just like the thing of gauze and they're into a gunshot wound. Oh, God. There's some things in this world, man. There are some things in this world. That's one of them. Protocol 4. Is it time for Protocol 4? It is time for Protocol 4. Hang on. He's looking as I'm reaching over. And, yep. All right. Should I give him the whole health bar? Mrs. Linecross is probably watching and she's like, no. Speak. There you go. There we go. Protocol 4. So the Orishnik missile is nothing more than an intermediate range ballistic missile. It does have MIRV or multiple, I've heard this acronym 17 different ways. Is it multiple individual reentry vehicles or multiple whatever, identifiable reentry vehicles? Fuck, I can't remember what MIRV stands for. We use ERS, early release submunition. No, THAAD, Aegis, and GMD all would have, maybe not GMD. I think it's too low for GMD. Because everything has how low it can go and how high it can go. That's why, like the MSE missile segment enhancement, the PAC-3 that just came through Lockheed Martin, that thing. So there was a small gap. I can't say what the gap was between Patriot and THAAD. And with the MSE, you close that gap. So now you have overlap. So no matter where it's at in its flight path, it can still be smoked. So I'm very confident, honestly, that THAAD and GMD could both take care of, or THAAD and Aegis could take care of that.
Intercept me?
Mike Perry!
I'd intercept me.
Change the started in the mud in Knox, shredded a rear sprocket off the side on a mountain in Germany. In the fought for April 4th in Sadr City, pulled first Cav guys out stated in country first 6 months of the insurgency. Merry Christmas.
Hey, Merry Christmas to you as well, my dude. I want to break that down a little bit because I do have a kind of a funny tank story when I fucked up my tank, and LaRue was in the, I think he was. I know Flo was. I don't know if LaRue was. Because Flo was the TC at that time. LaRue might have been the loader or sitting in the gunner's position at that time. I don't know where LaRue was. I think he was in the tank. And if he was, he knows the story I'm about to tell. All Poland school children take mandatory firearms lessons. I saw that. I think it's a wonderful practice. Poland is just doing a lot of really good things. I mean, no country's perfect. Like anytime someone's like, hey, this country's doing really good, there's always that one, wow, what about? And it's like, you can do that about any country. But you always want to make a country better. So, hey, I'm confused now. Your arguments to join are just like Navy recruiters. I mean, I tell you that the house always wins. So if you want to win, don't join the military. But if you want at least a small win, you can join the military. I'm having trouble with recruiting station, just getting them to open the door. I'm really surprised, Jeremiah. Honestly, they usually leave like their cards in the door, and like when I was enlisting, I like went down there once. I got her card. I was recruited by a female, sergeant first class, and then I remember like I called her like 2 days later to sign some paperwork. She called me, and I was like, "Hey, I don't have any gas for my truck," and like boom, they were at my house. They're like, "Let's go." They were ready. So I don't know. Just like the one Kathleen supplement says, ADA is the participation trophy of combat arms. Whoa, warsuit. It's the truth. I just don't like hearing it, okay? It just don't bother me. Dogie treats. Yeah, Rain's still over there working on hers. So change the started in the mud in Knox. Oh, okay. Shredded a rear sprocket on the side of a mountain in Germany in the shit and fought for April 4 in Sadr City. God damn. Wither! I'm gonna let Wither play and then I'll talk about that, Mike.
Intercept me.
Okay, I have to go. Have a Merry Christmas.
To you as well, Wither. Hey, have a Merry Christmas. I hope you and your family are doing well. Actually, to everybody in here, I hope you and your family are doing well. And if you're not, I will try and keep the laughs coming so that way, in what around the holidays, it can be a difficult time for a lot of people. So I do want you guys to be happy, and I will continue to try and pump out content as quickly as I can to at least give you guys, a smile for the day. That's my goal. So Mike, in Fort Carson, this was winter 2009. Yeah, because 2010 in winter I was deployed. So 2009, we went out and did a tank gunnery. It was like a half-ass tank gunnery. And I remember my officer, my lieutenant, he had to go back early. So then it was just me, my gunner, which was Sergeant Flores, and then LaRue. I think it was LaRue. I'm almost positive it was. I remember Sergeant Flo because he was screaming at me, and you'll find out why. So if you don't know this, guys, an Abrams has a Honeywell 1500 gas turbine engine. It's a fucking jet engine. It's the same engine that is in, I believe, the Black Hawk or the Apache. One of the two, maybe both. I don't know. It's a Honeywell 1500. 1500 horsepower is a gas turbine fucking fury. So, obviously puts out some heat. Fort Carson, middle of winter, like fucking 10 below zero. Okay. Well, a lot of people think, well, tanks are heavy, so they're good on snow and ice. That couldn't be further from the fucking truth. They are like a school bus on slicks. They're awful in the ice and snow, unless you have like the specialized track pads or you flip your center guides and like let it dig in a little bit, okay? But just the flat track pads? Oh, no. This is also the day that I learned you cannot counter steer a tracked vehicle. You know how like if you're sliding your back end sliding left, you just steer into it? Can't do that in a tracked vehicle. I learned this day. So anyways, tanks are going in front of me and there's like a downhill and then it curves left. Okay, I'm coming up over the hill. In between each tank, they were melting the ice on the road, and then it was refreezing in between every single tank because it was below zero. So every tank was getting further and further, like slipping and sliding, right? I'm the last in the convoy Tank in front of me literally slides down sideways, and so on the left, there's a mountain. On the right, it's almost a sheer drop off. I'd say it's probably like 80 degrees. Like it's pretty straight down, and there's like a 3 or 4 foot berm they've built up of just dirt. And the tank in front of me slides and hits the berm, backs up, and then goes around. And I was like, all right, cool. And my team leader, Sergeant Flores, was like, LaRue, he was like, hey, take it down easy. And I'm driving this thing, and left track starts to slide. Remember, mountain on this side, fucking death on the other side. And in my head, I was like, look, if we go off, I'm driving straight down this hill. I don't care if I get to the bottom and have no tracks and all my road wheels are fucked. I'm going to try and get her to the bottom. It's the best I can do. And so start going down, left track starts sliding. I can counter steer. That's not a thing. I go to steer left into it. And you know what happens? My left track now starts spinning backwards, which makes me slide even further, right? And my right one is spinning forward. So I'm just I'm doing everything I can. And he's like, steer left, steer, like yelling at me. And then he starts yelling, stop. And I'm trying to do that as well. By the way, the brakes in an Abrams work really, really good. And I'm not even being a smartass there. You can stop an Abrams at full speed on like asphalt. 42 is what it's governed at, to dead stop in 10 feet. Brakes are really good. And so we're sliding. I didn't feel the berm. Let me put it that way. Like we eventually slowed to a stop, but I went right through that fucking berm. Right through it. Didn't even feel it. 4 feet of earth, 72 tons, says fuck your earth. And we come to a stop. I literally see sky and valley floor. There's no road, but we're stopped. And I'm like, and I just hear Sergeant Flores in the headset in the CVC. Long, back up as careful and as slowly as you possibly can. Apparently, my entire driver's hold was hanging off of this fucking cliff. I couldn't see. I'm in the driver's hold. I literally have like shit. I can see my fenders. That's what I can see in there. There's no other vision. And so I went to back up, and I finally got her straightened out. I had like a 17-point turn. Eventually, we got down the hill. But yeah, that was when I almost rolled an Abrams off of a fucking cliff, which was terrifying. Hands down, absolutely terrifying. I need to scroll down and see what LaRue said, because I saw he said something. LaRue goes, and you said that too. I heard was fucking Flo screaming. You were in the tank. Hey man, hey, don't you judge me, bro. Don't you fucking judge me. All right. I was panicked. I was new. I'd been in the Army like 2 weeks. All right, man, you leave me alone. Okay, more like 3 months, but still. U.S. Army, uniform, senile alcoholics ruining my youth. Sincerely, a Marine. I'm actually here for it. I love that. The Patriot Broken Arrow used to engage jets around air and launch cruise seed missiles, which are all Russian. So you would enjoy Command & Conquer General vibes. Ooh, I do fuck with Command & Conquer Generals. Oh, Broken Arrow. Yeah, there was a guy I met at Range Day was telling me that comes out in June. I should check it out. Yeah, it's an RTS. Now I know what you're talking about. Yeah, LaRue was there. LaRue is probably watching this right now, just fucking rolling, because he remembers that damn story. I was probably my first time in the military, close call with death. That was it. Just stopped in. Have I seen the Finland candle system? I have not. Crew's dead, but the tank is fine. I hear Uncle Sam, but see this guy. You know, he'll be around sooner or later. Wait till you hear... Wow, I couldn't even do that right. Wait till you hear Grandpa Bath. Was brought into a fire call, ran to the house and car, slipped and put both knees in the driver door. Oh! Poland is the strongest military in Europe. Yeah. I mean... I want to say yes. Like the easy answer is yes, because the amount of new shit that they have bought. The downside is they're a little undermanned. Like the next closest country to the United States is like 300,000. That's Turkey. Poland's a little bit further down the rack, but they are armed to the fucking teeth. So yeah, I would give you that. Absolutely. Voices of the bomb. Thank you so much, Jeffrey. Let me see. I just got up with that. My mom passed away last night. You bring me joy. Ego nowhere. Hey, man, I'm sorry to hear that, dude. Like, that sucks, man. I will be here, trying to keep the laughs going as best I possibly can, my dude. With the vault of content you've given us to this point, we can have laughs for days, man. I'm trying to keep y'all going, man. Prayers to your family. Thank you so much. I will be going to see Sister Line Crosser soon. My schedule has been insane. But things slowed down for the holidays a little bit, so I'm able to get that done. Just managed to wipe out all my debt. Nice. Bro, my truck downstairs, right? I have a 2015 Ram 1500. I way overspent on this fucking truck. Way overspent on it. But you know what's crazy? Is like, I see a lot of other people and they'll like get a vehicle, they'll pay it off, they'll trade it in, get something new. Well, I just wanted something new. I'm going to ride that truck until the fucking wheels fall off of it. You know why? Because it's paid off. I put every mile on that damn truck. I know what every single maintenance thing has ever been done to that truck. I know how well maintained it's been. That is my baby. But congratulations, Joe Moses. We're going to give you one of these, a couple of these. You spin me right round, baby. Well, M1A1, I will be totally transparent with you. I was not in an M1A1. I was in an M1A2 SEP V2. So, Jacques LaRue with the fact checks. Look, I was panicking, okay? I can't remember everything that was said. I remember Flores was yelling in my ears. I remember that. That is vivid in my imagination. In Canadian Navy means never again volunteer yourself. Yes, I've heard that one. I've also heard the Navy referred to as Uncle Sam's Canoe Club. There's a couple other ones. Judging. Let me see. Have I had to do exhaust manifolds on it yet? Yep, I had to do those. That happened. Well, they weren't exhaust manifolds. It was I had to tap out all the fucking screws, but I didn't do it. I paid someone to do it because I don't like using tap and die sets. If you see me in my garage with a tap and die set, walk away slowly. That's all I'm gonna tell you because I'm throwing tools. 100% chance of everything can go according to plan, and I'm still going to throw something. I don't like tap and die sets. For those of you who don't know, he's referring to the Hemi Tick. Now, in the 5.7 liter Hemi, 345 cubic inches in the Rams, after about 30 to 50,000 miles, they start to get a tick. And people assume that it's a lifter, it's a push rod, it's all sorts of things. But in reality, what it is the studs that they have on the sides of the heads that hold the headers on are like grade 5 steel when they should be grade 8 fucking high tempered like cast. So what happens is they get hot, they get cold, they get hot, they get cold, they get hot, they get cold. You know, this is just what happens to engines. And then eventually they snap. So your exhaust manifold starts coming off and it, yeah. That's what happens. So I already replaced mine. Yep. Always reach ready. Sorry. Would love to hear America and Britain 1776 like your Pearl Harbor vid. I kind of did one of those. That was part of my, my Pepperbox series. That's what I'm doing over there is the what's it called? HLC State of Mind. Sorry, there's a couple of shows I'm on over there. Sorry. HLC State of Mind. That's what I'm doing is history, mostly obscure American history. Why were we using tanks in Afghanistan? We weren't. There was no tanks in Afghanistan when I was there. So like everyone's like, you were a tanker, you were in Afghanistan. No tanks. I did not have a tank. I didn't even see a fucking tank while I was over there. I had an M14 EBR and I walked everywhere. Like, well, why would you have an M14? Blah, blah, blah. I was the designated marksman, the squad designated, the SDM. Okay. It was me and there's like one or two other in our platoon that had those. LaRue was a saw gunner. You know what's interesting? So if LaRue is still in here, I hope he's still in here. I have a picture. I wonder, I'll have to find it sometime. I'll send it to LaRue. But I have a picture of so when we got our body armor in Afghanistan, like, why'd you get it in Afghanistan? Because we went over there with IOTVs, and when we got there, they were like, hey, you can have this plate carrier, you can have this updated IOTV, like, here's some new gear, so that way you guys can stay cool and stay on the fight. And we're like, hell yeah. Well, for first gen plate carriers that the Army issued, sucked. Like, and next level fucking sucked. Like, you could not put too much weight on those. So you had to wear a load bearing vest on the outside of your body armor that carried all your ammo and stuff. Because if you put too much weight on the body armor, it falls apart because it has a ripcord and everything starts coming loose after a while. So I have a picture of LaRue in the middle of sector in Malajad, Afghanistan, on his hands and knees, putting his body armor back together because he put all his saw pouches on there and the body armor literally just fell the fuck apart while he was wearing it. And my platoon sergeant standing over top of him with his rifle, just like pulling security. And LaRue's just like, fuck, just trying to get it all back together. It was great. I have that picture. My brother was a pig gunner for a security forces squadron. Like, you're talking about like the original pig, like the M60 or like the 240. Some people, I've heard them call it the pig because it's the replacement for the M60. Personally, I fired both 240 all day. I used to think M60. I was a big M60 fan. Then I fired an M60, and as a left-handed firer, fuck that gun. My whole neck was covered in brass burns. Guy was like, he handed it to me. He's like, I don't know if you want to fire this left-handed. It's going to burn your neck. And LaRue, he goes, my fucking cord fell out. I have that picture, LaRue. I'll have to send it to you, man. But I was firing that thing and just pop, 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 pop. I was like, I can handle it. I couldn't handle it. Couldn't. Navy is the short bus for the Marines. Set, thank you so much, my dude. Insurability has Wi-Fi in the Air Force. Yeah, God forbid. Taxi, how Marines call for the Navy. I saw it was like a political cartoon. They do it like the stick figures, and it was the most realistic thing I've ever seen. It was there was like, you see like the ocean, and there's a guy wearing a Navy t-shirt, and on his back there's a guy wearing a USMC t-shirt, and he's got like a knife in his mouth and he's like pointing ahead, and then you see a guy like flying through the air with an Air Force t-shirt, and like holding onto the bottom of him is a guy wearing an Army t-shirt with like a rifle and just like pointing in the same direction. And that's pretty accurate. Hi, how are you doing, Leon? I'm doing pretty good. How about yourself? 240 is my baby. I love the 240, man. She opens up, she talks. You can always tell. Like, it's a different feeling. Don't get me wrong, saws are great. They are great casualty producers. They are good at throwing lead down range, great at suppressing the enemy. Like, a saw always has its place in a squad. But when the pig sets up and she starts talking, just it's a different tone. Like you hear the saws, you know, brah, 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 bah, 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 you know, you hear them, and you hear like the M4s pop 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 pop. But when you hear them 7.62 NATOs just start whop pop 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 pop, you're like, you better duck, motherfuckers. It's a different feeling. I don't know. I love the 240. She's good. Should do one for the buff linebacker and linebacker 2. I've talked about linebacker 2 in the past. I probably should get like the whole story. I'm down. I just like going back and seeing LaRue's comments. That's why I'm telling all the LaRue stories. The issue with head bolts is use of any grade. The issue, as you described, was fixed transitioning to torque to yield bolts. They have to be replaced if ever removed from the system, but are good. Really? I'm not being a smartass, Colin. I'm like not being a smartass at all, but like, is that what we used for, I don't know, fucking 80 years on engines? Because like, as far as I know, the 5.7 is the only engine that's ever had this trouble. Well, the 240 should be better than the M60. That's fair. Absolutely. But if that's what we used previously, I don't know. I don't like headers. I always like, whenever I have to work on headers, I have to drive somewhere, and then it's like, okay, I'm gonna wait an hour, the engine should be cooled off, and it never is. But then I'm too stubborn, and I'm like, oh, I'm already here, I'm gonna do it. Shadow, is it Shadow Woman or Shadow Man, Shadow Woe Man? I don't look. I'm not a smart man, but I know what missiles are. Army, aimlessly running, mostly yelling. I'm taking that. Dude, all we do is fucking run. They're like, Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays are run days. Why? Why can't I just have like a yoga day? That's what I want. U.S. military mess with one you got us all. Oh, absolutely. Like, don't get me wrong. We all give each other a hard time. We all, like everyone in the military, we all roast each other. That's just the way it is. There's no way around it. I got a brother and a sister in the Navy. Well, my brother's retired now. So my mom, she had 2 daughters in the Navy. Can't pass the opportunity. Anyways, we roast the shit out of each other. But when I was in Afghanistan, my brother was on the Abraham Lincoln, I think at that time, because it was after the Kitty Hawk, because he was on the Kitty Hawk first, and then he was on the Abe. And he was in the Strait of Hormuz, or the Persian Gulf, being followed around by the Iranians. My poor mother, that woman, a heart of fucking gold, because that poor woman, she dealt with 2 kids in a combat zone at the exact same time, and didn't have a heart attack. Bless that woman. But it's crazy because he knew his F-18s were heading to Afghanistan. My brother was a maintainer, like on F-18s. And he's like, I know these jets are going into Afghanistan to help you guys on the ground. He straight up told me, he's like, I probably cost the U.S. Navy close to $100 million. Because anytime any little thing that he found was wrong with one of those jets, he ordered completely new parts. Like something wrong with the engine, get me a new engine. I want a new engine. There's too many hours on this one. This is wrong. This is wrong. Like he ordered new shit constantly because he wanted his brother to have good equipment. He wanted, like, when I call an F-18, an F-18 is going to show up. Never had to. Wait, did we? LaRue, I don't know if you're still here. Was it F-18s or F-15s we used on that 500, the 3 500-pounders after Mark and Casey got killed? I can't remember if it was 15s or 18s. It was 3 500-pound JDAMs. But I don't know what they were. LaRue might remember. You can't see them. I have a video, but like you just see the explosions. Could the US make a Star Wars Walker practical? Maybe? Question mark? Maybe? I mean, I don't think they'd be practical in general, just because like yes, they can go across, like traverse a lot of different types of terrain, but those legs are a serious weak point. I mean, a Sabo or a good charge or something like that on them is a big deal. So I don't know. That's why, like, I mean, it would be ultimately a mobility kill, but that's also a long way down. Maybe the AT, was it the AT-ATs, the 2-leg ones? Oh man, some Star Wars nerd's gonna fuck me up. JDAM saved our butts in Afghanistan numerous times. You were in RC East. I'm just telling you, like, just from that. This is the thing. I'll get into pissing matches with a lot of dudes over combat shit. I will. There's a good number of them. Like, if you were in Inherent Resolve, get the fuck out of here. Get out of here. Shut up. Nothing was difficult while you were there. Okay? But if you were in RC East, Regional Command East, if you were in Afghanistan, because I was in RC South, and like the level of dangerous in Afghanistan is RC East is number 1, RC South is number 2, and I don't even know about the other 2 because nothing ever fucking happened there. So hang on, LaRue said, I don't remember, but I want to say 15. Okay, I don't know either. Yeah, it could have been F-15s or 18s. I don't know. But guys in the RC East, they were getting shot at all the time. RC South, shot at every once in a while, but mostly we were dealing with like a lot of IEDs. But it also kind of also depends on where you're at in RC South. Like we were in Malajat, lots of IEDs, not too much direct contact. A little bit east of us and west of us, they were getting more direct contact. The Arghandab River Valley, getting a lot more direct contact. But yeah. If anyone makes fun of us, Lord help them. You're not wrong. You started in the 90s, grown from there? What? Has grown from there. I probably talked about something a while ago. I'm sorry. I'm trying to stay on top of these. Anyone in Northern Strike would know my brother, Tech Sergeant Michael Mitchell. They probably would have. I didn't, like, I was just kind of like a VIP being escorted around. I still got to send that email over to Colonel Myers. Oh my God. I completely spaced it out. I'm waiting on the other email from Logan. I got to send that over. The Chevy LS and LTs get lifter ticks as well. Oh yeah, I know Chevy's notorious for the ticks. To make the Russian Navy panic to say, just, do you see the torpedo boats? What is my favorite non-US aircraft? I've answered this question before. Oh wait, you said non-US. Non-US, not aggressor. Sorry. My favorite aggressor aircraft is the Su-34. Don't judge me. It's a good looking aircraft, okay? I mean, it's probably shit. It just looks cool. My favorite non-US aircraft of all is the Eurofighter Typhoon. Hands down. Favorite flavor of JDAM is the GBU-54 laser JDAM. I don't know what they use, but I can tell you, because somewhere I have a picture of the crater. 3 500-pound JDAMs that were on timer fuses. So those Weapons is going to correct me if I'm wrong here. There's a couple of different settings. Obviously, you have as soon as it hits the ground, kaboom. And then these ones, like, they went in deep and kaboom. And the reason they did that was because it was literally IED hell. Like, it was a 200-meter span. There was like a dozen IEDs in there. We were so lucky that we only lost 2 guys. Like, so incredibly fucking lucky. They were trying to kill everybody in there. And when they hit, these things, like, there was a truck, an ANCOP truck, an ANCOP Afghan National Civil Ordnance Police truck. It's a little Ford Ranger. And that's what they used to bait our guys in. It threw that like a frisbee. Like, it probably, if I were to shoot in the dark 100 feet in the air, and I'm not being sarcastic, it took an oak tree that was like, I mean, probably 3 to 5, or not 3, probably 5 to 7 feet in diameter, and just yeeted it like nothing. The 39 is a small boom. Oh, is it? These were 500 pounders. Walkers versus mech. I'm picking mech all day long. HLC summon the Star Wars nerds. I know everyone's, it's ATST, it's AT-AT, it's this. You know, what about this? I know it's gonna. Oh, hang on. Someone asked, but reiterating on his behalf, I'm dyslexic. I don't know if you know that. What is the opinion on the USMC new rifle, the M27? I personally love them. I don't know enough about said rifle. What I can do is text Brandon, and I bet Brandon would want to go. I want to do like a video with Brandon. I don't know what he hasn't done yet. Like, I'm like, do you want to go shoot at dummies full of tannerite from like 100 yards away or something? I have no idea what he hasn't done yet. Like, he's like, hey man, you want to do any videos? Let me know. What have you not done? You and Cody, what have you not done? I'd love to go do stuff, but hey man, yeah, I did that, 5 years ago. Hey man, yeah, I did that 2 years ago. Hey, we did that, was one of my first videos. Like, I don't know what to help you. Sounds like 31s. You would probably know better than me, weapons. China's new nuclear subset. Oh yeah, no, I saw that. Did they ever get it back up? I know they were trying to, and they like parked tugboats on top of it, so like no one would know. Oh, weapons goes, I know that fuse setting. You know. Yeeting a truck is likely 1,000-pound GBU 32 or 2,000 pounds if it's yeeting trucks. I saw 3 explosions. Again, I have nothing to compare it to. There was 3 explosions, and I was told they were 500 pounders each. And the last one is kind of funny. So they was two planes. They one drop, second drop, and then and then it circled around and kind of, I think it came in over top of us. And this is how I know American munitions is fucking good, right? It's really good because the last one hit the bottom of the crater where the other 2 had exploded, like perfectly bottom of the crater. Couldn't see the jets. You could hear them. And when it blew out, I have the video somewhere. I'll have to find it. It blew out towards us, and my mom hates the video, but I still think it's hilarious. It blew up, and like you see, like just this huge explosion, and then you hear someone in the background of my video. As you hear like shrapnel, you hear like pew pew pew, like going in all directions. That's the first time in my life I ever actually heard what sounds like an old western, like pew. You hear it, and then you hear someone in the back, like next to me. Is that the same spot? And then, no, I don't think so. And then you start hearing the rubble hit the ground, and someone behind the camera, behind me, was like, "Get down!" And we all get down. And you hear the rubble just hitting all around us, like the shrapnel and shit. No one got hurt, and then it goes quiet, and everybody starts laughing. And my mom was like, why is that funny? I was like, because we're not dead. Like that. What are you going to do? Oh my God, that was scary. We'll laugh about it. Like, it's just the way it is. People, please give your condolences to the UPR employees who sadly passed away from the derailment. Oh, I saw that. You get stuck in the tracks, UPR number on the crossing. I saw that that crazy derailment. Well, I can tell you right now that trucker's never going to get a CDL ever again, because you have an oversized load. You should have absolutely verified the clearance levels and stuff like that. Like I grew up, my dad was a trucker. You might hear me say like, well, my dad was a firefighter. My dad was a trucker. My dad was a trucker. He was a volunteer firefighter. So he was both. But Simpsons did it. Did the kid take out the East Coast drones? This is the thing, guys. What I will tell you about the drones is if the U.S. government hasn't started shooting them down with extreme prejudice, we know who they belong to, and it's probably us. Just there's so much that we know. Like I can't even scratch the surface of how much. Uncle Sam doesn't even know how much Uncle Sam fucking knows. Like it's insane. Germany had a terrorist attack today. I saw that. I think last I checked it was 11 people dead. It was a Saudi citizen, from what I hear, and he drove through like a Christmas gathering, just like straight through. Like that's so atrocious, man. Like I can put my head in a lot of people's heads, right? Like I can like, okay, why did they do this? Why did they, what's going on? People who commit like mass acts of like destruction and murder, I don't get that. Because none of those people personally wronged you. There's a lot of reasons to hate me, none of which are just fictitious, right? Like there's a like, cool. Like I don't understand racism. Don't get it. That just doesn't make any sense to me. There are so many reasons to hate somebody other than the color of their skin. Humans are shit. We suck, right? But don't hate me just because of the color of my skin. Hate me for a legitimate reason, please. 2 dead, 70 injured. Okay. I read somewhere, I saw 11, but 2 is way better. It sucks, but like 2 is definitely better than 11. Did you hear the bombs flying through the air? It's scary. I did not hear the bombs flying through the air. I remind me weapons. I will try and look up that video. It's somewhere on my hard drive. You hear like, I'm going to try and imitate the sound as best I can. It's like like the jet flying, you hear it, and then it's boom. Like there's no dropping sound. There's nothing. It's just wham, like kaboom. So that's the best I can explain. Military helicopter crash. It did in Oceanside. Man. Did you ever find out who Fred Gill was? No. I don't want to like. Okay. Fred Gill reached out to me through my PayPal account and wished me a very Merry Christmas and made a sizable donation. We'll go with that. And it was sizable enough that I wanted to reach out to him personally. And I was like, hey, but for some reason, I don't know why. Like it says like PayPal has like message back. Every single time I try to, it says this individual cannot be messaged. I don't know why. I don't know why. So I was like, I want to make sure that he understands like that I'm not ignoring him and like I do appreciate it. So that's the best I could figure out. That's it. Because he mentioned YouTube. He's like, you're the best channel on YouTube. So I was like, YouTube is where he's at. Hopefully YouTube is where he'll see this. I need to do a Thunder Screech video. It's on the list. It's on the list. Hello there. I'm back. Hello. Weapons. We only got 30 minutes left. You're going to bail on me? A raccoon shoplifted a knife at Bass Pro Shops today. Care to explain? I got to think of something good for this.
Listen. Bass Pro Shops is all about people harvesting animals while it is legal. Some of those animals happen to be raccoons, so don't get mad when they decide to harm themselves.
Fred Gill money laundering. Everyone's Franklin. This is crazy. I get tagged. Don't get me wrong. I get tagged in B-52 videos all the time. It happens all the time. It's a pretty consistent thing. But the amount of raccoon videos I get tagged in is insane. It's nuts, man. the DC character. You know what's crazy is I created that character on the Pepperbox side. When I did, oh man, what was the video? But yeah, it was one of my exclusives over there. And when the government shutdown started looming, my wife was like, "You got to use DC again." And I was like, "Well, I don't think YouTube has ever seen my DC." And she's like, "I love your DC. You need to use the same DC." And I was like, "All right." So that's where DC came from. DC was Smeagol originally. Oh, see, there you go. Sorry, my bad. I forgot that one. That's on me. Man, you guys know my lore better than I do. Thoughts on the F-111 Aardvark? I love it. I really do. It's an interesting concept. It was an experiment. Realistically, that's what the Aardvark was. And it was an experiment that we put so much money in that we had to produce it. But it's like the fucking engineers who came up with that, like, all right, cool. We're going to build something the size of a fighter. And they're like, cool. Okay. But we wanted to have the carrying capacity of a bomber. And everyone's like, well, how are we going to produce enough lift? Stay with me. Big ass engines. Like that's the way the Aardvark came around. If you guys don't know what the F-111 Aardvark is, it's a slightly larger fighter, right? Like it looks like a fighter, but it's just slightly larger than they are. And it carries like 100,000 pounds. Like it's so interesting. Ask Laser Pig about the Aardvark. I need to turn this camera up for these doggos. No, you can go back to your bed. It's okay, Buffalo. Knox is limping. He's got old bones. His leg must have fallen asleep. That's my best bud. He has a bath tomorrow. Oh, man. Thoughts on the CL 1201? Oh, that's the one that I looked up, right, Cyrus? Somebody else mentioned that earlier. Sister Line Crosser's doing good. She is back at home. I don't want to give too much back at sorry. I don't want to give too much of her information out there. So I gotta stop reading while I'm trying to talk. God, I cannot multitask to save my life. But she is doing okay. She is back at home. She still has a long road to recovery, and I'm going to be going to see her soon. So I'm really, yeah.
When Franklin arms itself, it's a trash day.
Ready for Christmas? Also, meanwhile, Nintendo's wondering why Luigi's trending. I am ready for Christmas. So Mrs. Linecrosser and I, we actually, we went to, so we right now for our Christmas, we're actually doing just stocking stuffers, because we went in together on a big gift for each other. So yeah, pretty excited about that. So we just got a couple of stocking stuffers, and I hope she's watching. I'm gonna stuff that woman's stocking. I was hoping she was around. The second super chat may save lives. How? Texas, how do I save lives? Or was it might have been the ATF that was Smeagol. Oh my gosh, now I can't even remember. Massive engines. It's a fighter bar. It really is. It's an uglier Tomcat. Whoa. Okay. Uglier implies that the Tomcat itself is ugly, and them's fighting words, because the Tomcat is sexy. And that could also be that I grew up around the time of Top Gun. So that's possible. But the F-111 it's just an interesting concept. It's like the F-117 Nighthawk, right? It's not the most greatest thing that's ever lived, but it was a step that we took to get somewhere, right? Like without the F-117, we wouldn't have the F-22, the F-35. We like those things wouldn't exist without that F-117. The B-2 would not exist without the F-117. So like that, we learned so much from that right there. So it's really an interesting. Oh, it was the ATF weapons. All right, fair enough. Hope you, Mrs. HLC Sister Line Crosser, have a happy and safe Chrissy. You might be, Rob, you might be Australian, because Americans and Brits don't say Chrissy. That's actually kind of cool. You guys, I love you Aussies. I'm just inferring you're Australian here. Oh, you're in Tassie. You are. Yes, you're Tasmanian. You taught me that that's a Australian state or province. Shit, I should have remembered that. But anyways, yeah, you guys put a Y at the end of words, and like, it's a really cool thing. I wish I could do that. If I go downstairs and tell my wife I want a handy, she's probably not going to stop laughing. All right. Just... The F-22 is the sexiest jet ever created. Changed my mind. Okay. Hold on. If we're going strictly aesthetics, like, okay, let's just forget all capabilities. Let's just assume that every jet that has ever existed is the exact same capabilities, right? So let's just forget everything else. I would argue the Tomcat. I love the foldable swept wing design. I just really love it. And it's maybe because I'm a big fan of a delta wing design, and when they're swept all the way back, it does look very delta wingish. Hence why I love the Eurofighter Typhoon. When I said that, somebody wrote canards are gay. I can't believe I didn't even mention it, but yeah. Tomcat is the two at the bar closing time. Whoa. Texas T said stop trains with jumper cables. Oh, hold on. Did I miss it? I'm going to scroll back up. Touching both rails will send a signal. Jumper cables. There you go. Okay, there you go. If you're stuck on the tracks, use jumper cables. I didn't even read. I'm so sorry, Texas T. Or summing metal to jump the tracks. Touching both rails will send a signal to the PTC computers, making all trains within 10 miles stop in that area. I did not know that. That's why you said the second super chat may save lives. I'm so sorry, Texas T. I'm so sorry. I fucked that up. Can I talk to Weapons? Weapons just left. He got tired of my shenanigans. F-117 is a big polygon. You're right, but it's still super cool. What do I think of Dark Star? So we're gonna learn some air defense. I'm gonna teach you guys some air defense, right? Okay, so the reason that so many people are convinced that speed makes you hard to kill is because of the SR-71. Now, here's the thing. It wasn't just speed that made the SR-71 very difficult to kill. It wasn't just that. It was a component, but it was also flight path. See, the SR-71 wasn't trying to crash into a certain asset, building, location, protected site, etc. Missiles, on the other hand, are. So as that SR-71 was overflying, they had to fire a missile, which then had to climb to, I don't know, unclassified was the SR-71. I say unclassified because I don't even know the classified one. It was like 80, 90,000 feet. That's way the fuck up there, the SR-71, right? So it had to climb to that elevation and catch something that is moving at Mach 3. The Dark Star is going to use the same principle. The thing that doesn't make any sense about the Dark Star is why. That's like the SR-71 was a surveillance aircraft. That's what it was used for. That's it, right? But with modern technology and satellites, you don't need that, which leads me to believe that if they are, in fact, 100% designing said Dark Star, they're doing it because it's going to carry a certain type of payload. It will be used for attacks. So that's my Mach 9. Yes, the Dark Star is supposedly Mach 9, presumably Mach 9. One word, Space Force. Fast bomb truck? It might. I mean, with engines that are capable of doing those kind of sustained speeds, I can only assume that thing is capable of producing a shit ton of lift. I mean, think about it. A regular commercial airliner needs those enormous wings because it has to lift thousands of pounds of human and fuel and luggage. Dark Star can probably produce a shit ton of lift just because of the speeds it's capable of performing. Now, I'm assuming the Dark Star is going to be similar to the SR-71. I got bored one day and started reading about the SR-71. I do that sometimes. I'm like, I'll just be sitting there thinking about nothing. I'm like, I wonder how that works. And the SR-71, I didn't know this. I thought it just like climbed up and then kicked on like the fucking crazy whatever engines and just hauled ass. I was wrong. It would cruise at around Mach 1, dive to pick up speed, switch from the whatever engines to the whatever engines, because it's got both in there, like they burn differently. And then it would, once those are on, now it's fucking cooking, and it would slowly climb back up to its cruising elevation. I didn't know that. I didn't know the thing had to dive to like figure it out. Someone wrote no. That's what I read. Look, I'm not an SR-71 guy. Thoughts on the F-20 and F-16 backstabbing it? I've never even heard of the F-20. Now I gotta look. The F-20 looks like it looks like an F-5. F-20 Tiger Shark. It looks kind of cool, but it looks like an F-5. I don't know. How is it backstabbed? If only you knew Air Force people. I know. I don't know how it backstabbed. Now I kind of want to look. F-117 is a Nintendo 64 F-22 abomination, but I can appreciate the work that went into it. I can appreciate that. That's F5. It's an F5. Okay, it is. Okay. Everyone's like, fucking listen, HLC. Rank Soviet SAMs based on appearance only. Ooh. I guess I'd probably go top 5. S300, 400, 500. So that's 5, 4, and 3. Number 2 is going to be the Pantsir, and number 1 is going to be the Tor M1. I think the Tor looks cool. It's shit, but it looks cool. It does. The 300 looks gross and just bulgy, and it was a crime of capability. As 400, a little more refined. As 500, modernized-ish. Oh, hold on, I'm missing some things here. The Navy wanted the F-111 to replace the F-4, carry the Phoenix in the 60s. The project was canceled, so Grumman offered came up with the F-14. Really? I didn't know the F-111 was considered for carrying that. I had no idea. There are gaps in satellite coverage due to various time lag issues. Something like SR-71 is used to fill those gaps so aggressors can't ambush. I'm not being a smartass, Colin. I'm genuinely, but like, dude, we have like thousands of satellites up there. I figure by now there wouldn't be any gaps. Like, I can't elaborate any further on that, but I don't feel like there's as many gaps as people think. I mean, maybe the North Pole, or maybe if you need immediate eyes on. I mean, it could be surveillance and reconnaissance. It's very, very possible. Oh, the stream froze on you, Quirky? I'm sorry. Next character idea, train with a shit ton of tanks, jeeps, and missiles, telling on flat carts, tells Russia, don't worry about it. Oh man, it's like every year somebody posted a video. It was like some HIMARS being transported, and some guy. It's anytime U.S. military equipment is transported, some random civilian sees a train car full of military equipment, is like, they're coming for our guns. Look, okay, the government probably doesn't even know those things are there. We lose shit all the time, but realistically, when you see equipment in large numbers like that being moved, if it's blank, like if there's no information on it, it's either brand new and going to a unit that is replacing their old shit. It's being shipped overseas because someone bought it, like, I don't know, Poland, who's asked for over 400 HIMARS. So since I saw those HIMARS and they were brand new and I didn't see any bumper numbers, I'm going to shoot in the dark and say they're going to Poland because we're trying to produce as fast as we can for fucking Poland. But yeah, no, it definitely. We still use the U2 for a reason. That's fair. That's fair. Do you think it's possible to make an absolute 100% good universal camo? If not, please explain that to Canada. I do think it's impossible to create a universal camo. I really do. Look, I don't got Justin Trudeau's number, man. It's his first name, right? Justin? I wish they would modernize the P-38. You and me both, homie. You looking at Metal Storm? I thought I did. Is that the one that was the bomb full of all the little tiny, like 5-ounce bombs? Maybe? The Russian primary RWR on L-150 can detect 1.2 to 1.5 gigahertz. Can detect Patriot launches without EWR. Just because of the way it engages, I'm not confident that they can detect just based off of like that level of reception. Because remember, Patriot, it doesn't like paint the target. The missile comes out and the radar tells the missile where to go. Like you're just up there flying around. The radar doesn't do anything else. It just says, cool, I know where you're at. And then it sends the missile in that direction. Now, a Russian radar on board that aircraft could pick up that incoming missile if it's the right aspect ratio, location, reference to the target, things like that. But as for that, I don't know. And even if I did know, I don't think I could probably get into the RWR that much. What do I think of the Bell V247 Vigilant? I don't even know what that is. It looks very sci-fi-ish. Very sci. That looks like, what was that? What was that movie? The TV show Amazon did. It was like a series of short episodes. There was, yeah, that's what it looks like. Thousands of satellites, tens of thousands of things wanting their bandwidth. That's fair, Denton. You can set a watch to satellite orbits. Their arrival is predictable. You know, but you know, the other thing that might be as well, satellite jamming has become so common on the battlefield. Russia's doing it in droves. What do I think of Canada being the 51st and second state? I don't think that'll ever happen. I really don't. Canada, how do I word this? While they are rich in resources, I don't think an annexation of Canada would ever happen. Number one, because Canadians are very proud people. And number two, it's in our mutual best interest economically to stay separate countries. Because then all the Canadians would have to figure out how to buy health insurance. Or Americans would be getting free health insurance, and that plus our defense budget. Oh, that's not going to happen. So I don't know. I would rather Canada stay Canada and just help us out when we need them. Our little, you know, psychotic hat. How about we keep the HIMARS for ourselves and put them on U.S. warships like the Marines are doing with amphibious ships? We have done that before. We've done HIMARS fired from a boat. When I talked to the guy who works at the HIMARS schoolhouse, his name is Mr. Anderson. I don't know his damn first name. He was explaining to me that when the HIMARS first came out, they were like, can it fire from a boat? So they strapped one to a boat and it was able to successfully lock on to its target and fire and all that stuff. Also, if you see any of these, I'm going to just go ahead and put this out there because it's all over freaking Twitter. If you see any of these idiots who are like, you can't target with HIMARS without American input, that's bullshit. A 4-year-old could use a HIMARS. Seriously. If you have a map and you know, cool. Hey, our drone that we bought on fucking Ukrainian Radio Shack that just flew over there said that they're behind this tree line over by this road. I know that that's that. Let me grab my little protractor and compass. I know that's that direction from me. That's the grid. Let me program this grid in. Cool. All right, let's go ahead and send it. And then you just flip a switch and go. You don't need GPS and all this other shit. You can do it with a map. Like it's so that whole like Russian narrative that like America's giving them targeting data. No, I mean, we might be, but like not targeting data. We're just like, hey, you know, there's some Russians over here. Like that, I could see us doing that, but I could never see us giving targeting data. Ship. It's not a ship. It's a boat. Everything's a boat. When is Buff getting? No, I'm not reading that, Darth Zane. SR-71 is the sexiest, no contest. Okay. Hot take here. Hot take here. Stay with me. I think the SR-71 is incredibly sexy. It's a beautiful, it's sleek. It looks fast sitting still. right? It looks fast. I hate the cockpit. I think cockpits are ugly as shit. Like that, I got it. They're doing it because it needs to be able to deal with the punishment of moving that fast. The beam in the center, like the tiny little windows. I hate that. I think it's ugly as hell. It's gross. So, F4U Corsair sexiest. Now we're on the same page there, buddy. F-16 is clearly the sexiest aircraft ever flown. I like the F-16. How do I word this? I think the F-16 needs to put on a little weight. Like, you look at the F-15, it looks like a bodybuilder or like a UFC fighter that's going in, right? It's got that, like, that stance. The F-18 is the same way. It's got that, like, wide, like, I'm here to fuck shit up. And then there's the F-16. I got it. Its job is dogfighting. It's supposed to be nimble. Totally understand that. Totally get it. It's just, it needs to put on some weight. It just, The F-16 XL exists? It's a thing? Hold on. It's a Delta Wing F-16. I gotta say, I don't even know what to say right now. Like, it's making me feel things. It makes it look a little beefier. And I love a good Delta Wing. I like it. I actually like it. I'm kind of here for it. Should the government have term limits for Congress? Absolutely. And we should also, as Americans, force them to pass a bill that states that all bills in the future, it should be an amendment to the Constitution. All bills going forward should be single use. No, just sneaking stuff in. Annexing Canada would be a repeat of Super Troopers 2. Hope you and Mrs. HLC have a lovely Christmas. Thank you so much, Samantha. I hope you and your family does as well. I'm calling the F-16 anorexic. I am. I know. I like when America does things. Like, that's a strange thing to do. And it really, like, it's very reminiscent of a Eurofighter Typhoon that, like, doesn't have canards. I don't know how to feel about it. The X-82, that's that new supersonic that doesn't do sonic booms, right? Oh, no, that's not what I was thinking of. That's the one that's like two P-38s slapped together. Or maybe P-51s. X-15. Oh god, the X-15 is gross. That one definitely needs more weight. It's got the just... I don't like that. I don't like it at all. It makes me feel things. F-106 Delta Dart, top 3 series planes. I swear I know that. Ooh, I do like that. Aside from the canards. Well, that one has canards, but all the rest of the pictures don't. So I don't know if it has canards. It's not bad. The engine design, not a fan of. The vertical stabilizer, kind of large. You know, it could use some. The Harrier. So here's the thing. I can't get behind the Harrier. The Harrier. This is my problem with the Harrier. Okay. There's no engine sticking out the back. It's all on the, like, those little things on the side. Maybe I'm wrong. Let me double check. Don't put an E at the end of Harrier. Yeah, I'm right. There's none of that. I think the Harrier, great idea. Love the VTOL. It looks chunky. It looks like it needs to go on a diet. Okay, I'm gonna just say what it is. The J-70's Delta Wing makes it the best MiG-21. J-7E. You guys got me looking up different. Doesn't look Delta Wing. I guess it is kind of a delta wing when you look at it from that angle. Yeah, I'll give you that. Look up F-16 with conformal fuel tank. All right, hold on. I think I skipped somebody else too. That's awesome. Sina on Taleda, the Huskam. Yep. I'm a really funny man to finish. Thank you, Haven Lady. I appreciate it. Oh man, I skipped a couple of them. I'm so sorry. I'm trying to stay on top of it. Chicken Wings, F-82 Twin Mustang. Look up Space Shuttle Discovery. Don't care. The shuttle's still a beast. I'm familiar with the shuttle. There's an F-22 Delta Wing bomber variant? I'm here for it. For $10,000, I can buy a robot dog with a flamethrower on it. Google it, civilians can own it. Just a pulse fire flamethrower on its back. Not gonna look. It says with flamethrower. We gotta stop giving robots weapons. That one has a LAR rocket on top of it. All right, now I gotta look up this other thing. F-16 with conformal fuel tanks. I don't know. This is strange. From the front, it looks like it's like brother, you know, like that whole meme. But from the side, it's not bad. It gives it a bit of a beefier profile. I don't know how to feel. The front, not a fan of the look. Like from head on, gross. But from the side, she looks pretty good. Like I don't hate it. What about the ugliest plane ever made? Oh my God, somebody told me about it. It's the F. Hold on. Let me see if that's wrong. Yep, F-32. Ugliest plane ever made. Like Bubba Gump in plane form. This kind of shrimp, that kind of shrimp, that shrimp. The F-20 was built directly to rival the F-16, was arguably better. Policy changes after Reagan entered office started to kill it. The F-16N, bigger F-16 picked by the Navy, killed off the F-20. Really? Huh. X-32 is fucking ugly. Everyone. Yep. F-16N was the best F-16? I don't know if I've seen that. Doesn't really look any different from what I can see. I mean, it looks about the same. Harrier, more cushion for the pushing. It looks chunky, man. AV-32. Let's look that up. AV-32 is apparently also the F-32. AV-32? Is it a Harrier version? Because I'm pulling up Harriers and F-32s. Love your stuff off the top. My granddad served in Korea, was a sergeant of the team that operated an Honest John missile system. No shit. Don't know what that means. All right, I believe Honest John is nuclear capable mid-range ballistic missile, but let me double check. Yeah, I've seen these before. Yeah, they should be. Yep, they got a couple of them out here. Honest John. MGR Honest John rocket was the first nuclear-capable surface-to-surface rocket in the United States Arsenal. Originally designed, designated artillery rocket XM-31. The first was tested in 1951 with the first production rounds delivered in 1953. Hey, it has attitude adjusters. That's cool. What was its range? Let's see. Wingspan, engine, operational range. Not even mid-range. That is... Why did we make this? Operational range, 3.4 to 15.4 miles, or 5.5 to 24.8 kilometers. Wow, and it went up to 30,000 feet. That was its flight ceiling. We at our 2 hours? We are at our 2 hours. Oh man, hope I didn't miss anything. Can we agree the V-22 is the worst ever? The Osprey? Yeah. Hold on. Hold on. He's right. He's right. You said in your video today that Arleigh Burkes have 122 VLS cells. That's the Tycos, Ticonderogas. I got it mixed up. He's right. He's right. Damn it. All right. Flight 1 DDGs have 96, while Flight 2s and 3s have less because of the fat aft hangar. Merry Christmas. And then he said, "Go Army, beat Navy." That's what he said. That's what I read. Anyways, yeah. We're gonna go ahead and we're at our 2 hours now. Let me go ahead and hit the button. There we go. Well, as you have it, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. We are at our 2 hours. We're actually about 5 minutes over. So as always, do not give in to the 22 a day. Every single one of you are amazing. If you would like to support the channel, please go to habituallinecrosser.com and get yourself some merch. If you want to buy me a beer, anything like that. Merry Christmas to ONC. He's the last super chat of the night. Merry Christmas to all of you, and you all have a wonderful, happy holidays. I will see you guys after Christmas, I believe right before New Year's, if I'm not mistaken. So I will see all you guys then. Everyone take care of yourselves. I will keep the laughs coming. Again, I cannot thank you all so much for all of your support. You guys are absolutely amazing. I love you all, and I look forward to next year and keeping this going. See you guys.